In this video, I'm going to introduce you to an exercise that you can practice to 10x and improve your rhythm on the piano. If you're a complete beginner, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to go over the basics, and if you keep watching until the end, I'm going to provide you a surprise resource that you can use to continue with your learning. So if you are completely new to the piano, you have to understand that when it comes to songs and music, everything is broken up into different rhythm patterns, just like everything is broken up into note patterns. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you some sheet music. Even though this isn't about sheet music, this is really about you understanding how rhythm works, first of all, in music before I give you the exercise, and I'm going to move forward from there. So here's some sheet music. If you notice that on here, you have the staff that goes across this way, right? And if you look very closely, as a matter of fact, I might even show you a different video or a different book that has a better view, because this one looks a little bit better. So you have a staff here that goes across. You have a staff here that goes across, a staff here that goes across, a staff here that goes across. So here, you'll notice there's a line here, and then after a group of notes, you'll see there's a line here. After this group of notes, there's a line here. After this group of notes, there's a line here. What these lines are doing is they are breaking up the staff into what are called bars or measures. If you're into hip hop, if you're an MC, you've heard these terms before. That's pretty much what it's referring to. It's all referring to the same thing. This is just the sheet music version of what you're talking about. So what are bars or measures? Bars and measures are basically groups of, how do I put this? It's a song that's broken up into a group of beats. So if you hear someone counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, what's happening is from beats 1 to beat 4, you have completed one measure. So if I were to go back to this one would basically be, or if this was a 4-beat measure, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4. Next measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully that makes sense so far. Now, a measure can be 4 beats, it could be 3 beats, it could be 2 beats, it could be 5 beats. So if you hear the Mission Impossible or the Incredibles theme song, those songs have 5 beats per measure. So bum 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1, right? How do we know that a song is broken up into 3, 4, or 5, etc. measures? So in sheet music, it actually just tells you how many beats are in a measure. Here, you can't really see it here, but this top number here at the very beginning, so at the beginning of a sheet music song, you will see 2 numbers. You'll see a number at the top and a number at the bottom, and likewise here. So if you see a 2, 4 here, you'll see a 2, 4 here. So whatever's up here will be the exact same down here. The top number tells you how many beats are in a bar. So in this case, this one says 2. That means each bar is only 2 beats long. So you go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So if you're listening to music, how do you know the certain number of beats that are in the bar if you're not referencing sheet music? There are what we call strong and weak pulses in a measure or a bar. So beat 1 is always going to have the strongest beat, and you'll kind of get a sense of where that strong beat comes in. So it's kind of like the emphasized beat. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you can find that strong beat, that first beat that comes in each time, and all you have to really do is count how many beats happen between that strong beat and the next strong beat. I'll give you an example. Let's take John Legend's All of Me, right? So, what would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. So you kind of know where that strong beat happens. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to use your ear if you're not referring to sheet music. So that's kind of how the measures are broken up. And now I'm going to introduce you to how the actual rhythm notes are broken up. But before I get into that, I do want to bring to your attention that I do have a free Piano in 3 Steps video that is in the description box if you're a complete beginner and you want to begin your journey of learning piano. If you go into that link in the description box, it will give you free access to my free 3 steps video that goes over 3 basics that you need to know to learn the piano. So before you leave this video, make sure you check out that link in the description box and begin your piano learning journey there. So what happens with the notes that happen within the beats, right? Each note is going to have what is called a rhythmic value. What is a rhythmic value? A value means how many beats or how long is each note going to last. So there are 3 types of rhythm notes that you learn as a beginner. You have what's called the quarter note, the half note, and the whole note. So a whole note basically, or I'll start with a quarter note. A quarter note is 1 beat long. So if you look in sheet music, I'm going to see if I can find something here. Let me see. Okay, so a whole note is going to be a note with the stem, and it's going to have the circle filled in. So an example of a quarter note, if I said whole note, I meant to say quarter note, guys. Stick with me here. So that where my finger is, that's a quarter note because it has a stem and it has the circle filled in. Now, I know you're probably wondering what's the difference between the stem going down and the stem going up. There is no difference in value. It's just basically determined by where it is on the staff. But either way, it's the same type of note. So a quarter note has 1 beat. So what does that sound like on the piano? If you have a 4-beat bar, you would take 4 quarter notes to play a whole bar or a measure. So they would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here you would basically be giving 1 note to 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how quarter notes would sound. So if you see a quarter note in sheet music, or if you're playing a quarter note, you're going to give it the value of 1 beat and move on to whatever the next note is. Speaking of the next note that you would learn is what's called the half note. The half note, just like the quarter note, has a stem, but the circle is open. So what you'll see is something like this. So you see these notes here, it has an open circle and it has a stem. These 3 notes here are half notes. These 2 notes here are half notes. So a half note is going to be 2 beats long. If I were to take up a measure with half notes, you would only be able to fit in 2 half notes because the first half note would take up beats 1 and 2. The next half note would take up beats 3 and 4, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do an exercise really quickly, but I want to give you the last rhythm note. Now, there's other types of rhythm notes I'm not going to get into today. These are just the first 3 you need to know. The whole note is going to be just the open circle. So it will look something like this. You'll see an open circle. It has no stem. When you see the whole note is going to be 4 beats long. So if you have a 4-beat measure, the whole note is going to take up all 4 beats, just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Half notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whole notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And whatever number of beats that measure has, whatever combination of rhythm notes that you put within that beat, they have to equal the number of beats that are in that bar. So if the bar is 4 beats long, however you mix up quarter notes and half notes within that bar, it has to equal exactly 4 beats. It can't be short at 3 beats or it can't be 5 beats. It has to be 4 beats if the bar is 4 beats long. So let's do a couple of exercises. I want to play a series of notes and you have to tell me if you hear quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. Listen very carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What notes were those? If you guessed half notes, you got it right. Let's go with the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What notes are those? If you guessed quarter notes, you got it right. What about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you guess the whole note, you got it right. So here's something that you can work on. My iPad is over there, so I'm gonna have to use my phone. If you download a metronome on your phone, so if you go into the App Store, whether you have an Android or iPhone, if you type in metronome, METRONOME, you should have a ton of options for free metronomes. Just download them. What you can do is once you download the metronome and you open it, if you set the tempo to 60 beats per minute, which is what I'm doing right now, and if you turn it on, you can just practice playing each note. So you just go quarter notes. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you do half notes, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whole notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This will help you with your sense of timing and tempo, so that way you don't have to go too fast or go too slow, and you can be a bit more accurate when it comes to playing on beat. Now, as far as the video that I promised you, there's a video where it'll teach you how to play eighth notes, which is a bit more complicated than quarter notes. I'm going to provide you a link, or there should be a link at the top here in the top right corner, where you can access how to play and practice playing eighth notes, which are twice as fast as quarter notes. So check out that video. If you like this video, please like, comment, share. Make sure you put your questions in the comment section. I'm very interactive with my videos, and I'll be sure to answer. So that is pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in my future videos.